very, very special to me. Just the august history of the society, what it has done through centuries now. And especially, Michelle, also for me, the fact that this is coming from Britain, from the UK. So many reasons for that. I've worked so many years in London, mostly on film scores, all these Superman and Harry Potter and Star Wars and all these things that we've done, mostly with the London Symphony Orchestra. I feel such a closeness. It has been so much a part of my life, so that an award like this has special meaning to me.
You have done a huge amount to keep orchestral music alive for subsequent generations, because in this age of electronic music, you favour that big recording with the full orchestra for your scores.
The orchestra is one of the great inventions of the Western mind, and I think it will always be with us. It's such an expressive instrument. But also, the electronic field offers a soundscape that goes in a different direction, or you could say beyond what the orchestra is capable of producing. And I think in future we can see an amalgam of those two things done by some brilliant people. But I think the orchestra is, at least for my generation, part of the oxygen we live by.
I'm Steven Spielberg, and I think my last name should be Williams, because he has infused so much of his brilliance into so many stories that we've told together. Your legacy lives on and on. Every time we just hear someone whistling, dun, 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 dun.
Steven Spielberg, who introduced this award last night, you've had a long and successful and happy collaboration with him over many, many films. Let us into the process a bit. Is it always the same, whatever the kind of film you're working on?
We've been together a long time. It's almost like a marriage. I mean, there are really no surprises. Every project has its own particular kind of discussion, but it's still Steven and me and in a room having a good time. He comes over and I play ideas on the piano for him, and he sits and we talk, and it's been a great blessing, I must say.
So when you first played him the idea for the Jaws theme, when you came up with that and played it to him, what did he think first?
Well, I think he just scratched his head, and for a moment maybe he thought that I lost my mind, and we laughed about it. I played these few little silly notes on the piano, and he said, "Well, do you think it really will work?" And I said, "Well, I think with the orchestra playing it, cello and basses down in the profundo register of the orchestra, that it might be quite terrifying." It had the advantage of going very slowly, the thump-thump music, or very quickly, so that if it speeded up, you might get a sense of the shark getting closer and closer to you. And we tried it with a session of the orchestra, and it worked very well. It couldn't be any simpler, yet it seemed to deliver a powerful message. And the movie seems like fun, but it's also genuinely scary, I guess, to people.
And you are still working. You were in Vienna earlier this year, conducting the Vienna Philharmonic, and that was released as an album, which is your most recent album.
Having spent so many years in a room alone with a pencil and paper, the opportunity to appear before an audience and bring the music to life with a live orchestra has been and is a joy.
It's a joy that's been really absent this year. It's been a terrible year for orchestras, performers, musicians of all kinds. What would you say to people who've been in that position and who are facing another winter of it?
The pandemic itself, and socially, artistically, and so on, has been the most difficult thing beyond imagining. And our orchestras have no concerts, no recordings, no rehearsals, no tours, in addition to no income. I don't know if I want to use the word tragic, but it's a very, very difficult situation. I do believe that it's going to be all right, unquote, that the vaccines will come, that I think our performers will be back at work soon. I hope to be in Berlin with the orchestra next October. I hope by then, actually I hope by spring we'll be able to work, and that our science community will help us get out of this deep trench. We have to recover, and we will.
doesn't sound like there's any such thing as retirement for you.
Oh, I don't think there's retirement from music. It might retire from me, I don't know, but I would always go to the piano and play or write and conduct as long as I'm able to enjoy that with orchestras and with my friends. You know the famous Rachmaninoff quote, music is enough for a lifetime, but a lifetime is not enough for music.
John Williams, thank you very much, and congratulations on this award.